How's it going? Um, I noticed that I did not see many videos touching on Game of Dice. Game of Dice is an application game for Android and Apple, and it seems that nobody really talks too much on it, and if they do, it's just them trying the game out. Um, I usually only do Magic the Gathering videos, but I figured that today I would tap into a game that I also love, which is Game of Dice. Um, I've been playing this game for quite a while now, and I think that this is a very great game. It's put together very well, but I also have so many issues with this game, and I believe a lot of it has to come from the competitive scene of it in Korea, where I believe that this game is based out of. Um, but I would like to just step through, take everybody on a nice path. If you're trying to get into this game, or if you think that this is something you could be interested in, or it looks fun, or whatever, I'm going to try to lay out exactly what is going to happen and how this game is going to be if you try to get into it because bottom line is I personally believe that it is pay to win and I think that it's pay to win in the worst possible way. So, let's just dive into it and see how it goes. Um, Game of Dice is a game that's based on joy, which is basically this number right here. I have $27 trillion, which it's not easy, and it's taken me a long time to get there. Um, as you can see from the rankings, it goes up to it goes up to quintillion, I believe that number is. It's a lot. Um, nowhere near that. LP is kind of like a number you get from ranking. So, a lot of times if you're in a clan or a guild, I would say, um, it helps build LP when you play with people in your guild. It also helps your guild, and then you get rewards for doing it. You get rewards like these. So the first thing I want to touch on is in this game there is a lot of different currency, which is part of what I do not like about this game. This is a great game, and I think that it is fantastic for being only a phone application, but oh my god, do they want you to spend hundreds of dollars on this literal phone app? And it's so ridiculous. Um, so, first off, this is my gamer tag up on the top left with my level 19. Um, VIP number. I am not gonna lie, I have spent money into this game, but not anywhere near what a lot of people have spent, I imagine. I'm VIP level 5. You get VIP levels based on how much in-game currency you spend pretty much. It's they make it not really like that, but right here I have to spend 934 more gems to make it to VIP level 6. So you can charge it with these gems, but realistically, the only way to get gems, unless you're coming in here daily and you're collecting all the little 10 gems here and 15 gems there, like it really takes a while. So, but you do get all these cool things when you level up. You get discounts on things, you get free joy and everything, um, which makes it kind of cool. Then you have then you have gold. Gold is used to upgrade your dice, to upgrade your characters, to upgrade your goods, and I'll just dive into what those are real quick so you guys have an idea. This game has multiple characters. You level the characters up. They're based on a star system. You use these enforcers to upgrade your characters. This game is not straightforward. It's very, very, very hard. They want it to be like pulling teeth to upgrade anything in this game because they want you to get to a point where you get so obliterated that you have to buy into the game, which is something that is just so ridiculous. Um, So if you real quick, if you wanted to, let's say, go into the store, you go into the shop. Let's just say that you want a new character, right? One of the characters that's out right now is this guy. If I can find him, let me see. Leo. Leo is one of the characters that is out right now. It's not even guaranteed that you're gonna get Leo for $100. $100. $50. Not guaranteed that you're gonna get Leo. Let me just keep going. Leo, right? At a star 5, which is star 5D is not really like what is currently the best. It's just to get the character. Then they want you to level him up. You're guaranteed to get Leo for $100. You can upgrade him to star 6, they're saying, and get 200 gems or whatever that means. Um it's like there's just so many different currencies. There's Topaz, which Topaz you can only get by doing in-game things that usually cost money. Um, like this, you spend $100, you get 1,000 Topaz. That's like one of the only ways to get it. Um, Gems, you realistically it comes with every purchase. They want you to spend $100 here. They're saying it used to be $600. I'm telling you that if this ever said $600, this game would be absolutely absurd. Like it's the price tags are just out of here. It's skill enhanced package, $30. Used to be 100. This is not even anything. 300 gems you blow through in like half a second. 300 topaz doesn't even buy anything. Like this is just like $30 for nothing. It's so ridiculous. $100 you get 1,000 topaz and 1,000 gems. You might get one useful thing out of that. Like it's if you want these dice, it doesn't. It only gives you 500 dice fragments. It doesn't even give you the top version of these dice, which would be like a star 6. You get these at a star 3 for $100. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but this game just drives me insane. Um, so back to what I was talking about. So like Iori Yagami, this is a guy who is from King of Fighters, and he was a buy it now character, kind of like Leo. He wasn't that expensive, thank God. But I upgraded him to level 20, star 5 diamond, and I did everything I could possibly to make him as good as he can be. They handed they tend to hand you things sometimes. The game wants you to stay interested. So they tend to hand you a character that is already fully maxed out, things like that. It comes out of nowhere, but they will do it and they'll give you one. Like Hong Kong Alice was a character who came out of nowhere. It's pretty even with Cheerleader Liz, who both of these characters were given for free. So, they try to help you where they can, but they're also not trying to help you. They don't care that much about it. They just want you to spend money. Makes sense. Um, as you can see from the stats though, is this guy that I got to this level, he's obviously way worse than a character than they just gave me. I still use dice in this game that they just gave me a long time ago because they're the best dice that I've gotten. They're star 6. And even though they're not the best, I mean, if you look, like these are all star 2, star 3, star 4, star 5, and you think, well, why wouldn't you just upgrade your dice and then you wouldn't have to worry about these kind of things? See, like they try to give you things here and there, but it doesn't make up for it because if you go to draw fragments, this is how this game gets you. You can't just buy anything. You can't just it's pay to win, but it's pay to win in a way that you can only pay to win if you literally have $2,000 to drop on this game. And even that doesn't promise you anything because it's all ridiculously like randomized. So so if you wanted the mummy dice and specifically only the mummy dice, right here, 285 gems, right? Makes sense. Except every time that you click this button, the number goes up. I've already bought some of these with the gems that I had, which I didn't pay for with real money. I just had them. It started at, I think, like 170. Now it's at 285. It just keeps rotating and getting more and more expensive. Um, VIP hot deal, if you want to get these dice fragments, it's 90 gems. That's fine, but it could be any of these four dice that are on top of the list. You're like, okay, well, if I hit it enough times, I'm going to get enough pieces of these dice and then I'll have a set. You go over here to craft and enchant. Let's take a peek. If you wanted, let's say, where are the mummy dice? Let me see. So the mummy dice right here, which are part of the new set. I have 91 out of 450 fragments to even make the dice at tier 3. Tier 3. It's not it's like you don't even get the theme park boost. You don't get the Guardians protection boost because I don't have anything even to make it tier 4 or tier 5 or tier 6, which is what everybody in this game plays at. Mind you, I've been playing this game for years. Years. Consistently. It's absolutely insane. It's so fun, and that's why it just irks me so bad because this game could be such a good game. It has a competitive scene in Korea, which is how I learned how to play the game a little bit better in a way that I'm not so limited back by not spending money, which is nice. But they have a bunch of different things. Daily login. You come here, they give you different items per day. And then if you get here, you get a skill card. It's like they try to give you things, um, and they do what they can. I personally am a fan of one thing that they did right. That thing is, if you get into a match, and it's very possible, depending on how the ranking goes, you could get into a match where there is 200 billion on the line, right? When you're at 27 trillion, 200 billion is absolutely nothing. That game, I could literally just quit that game and they could take the maximum amount and it would be 200 billion and I'd be fine. Some games you get into, there's 17 trillion on the line. A game like that, for me, would take out almost my entire bank account. So, what the game does is when you lose specific games like that, the first couple, I think it is, I don't know if it happens every time, but if you lose past a certain amount, the game will reimburse you and bring you back to a number that's not so bad. So I had 34 trillion yesterday, and I was playing and playing, and I was ranking up, and then I finally hit a point where I lost like $25 trillion, and it was just gone. And after that happened, I lost LP, which means my ranking system. I went from platinum all the way down to silver, and I had to work my way back up to platinum today. Um, but the game was like, here is $15 trillion or however much it was, and it put me back to 25 trillion, and then I was able to work my way back up from there. So the game doesn't want you to necessarily lose and say, screw this, I'm leaving, I'm not playing the game anymore. It's one of those games that it wants you to keep playing. It wants you to play in the hardest, most difficult way possible because they don't want to help you when it comes to pricing and buying things in the game. So, this is the guild that I'm in. They have a guild room where you can see other people's characters. You can click on them. I can see his items. He has 5-star dice. They're pretty good ones, actually. Um, he's a level 25 star 6 character. So he most likely bought this character. Um, and he has all star 6 goods, which absolutely must have cost some form of money somewhere because star 6 goods are so good in this game and they don't just come easily. Um, he's got a couple of good skill cards and whatever else. So let me dive into what skill cards are real quick. Um, one sec. Skill cards. Game of Dice is kind of like Monopoly on cocaine. It's essentially a small board, high cost buildings that people can land on, and then you have to pay taxes and things like that. And they use skill cards to help you push other characters onto certain platforms, or you use it to try to obtain more properties, or you use it to try to get money stolen from people, things like that. So you have your starting cards, which I have interception, which is steal a selected city at 50% chance. So if somebody else owns a city, I can possibly take it from them. Pushback, this is one of the best cards in the game. I think this might be the best card in the game. That's just me. Because essentially what you can do is in Monopoly, when you pass start, you get a percentage or it upgrades your buildings or whatever. In this game, when you pass start, your buildings all go from one tier to two tier or whatever tier you're at. It boosts them all up one, and then it adds a multiplier. Um, from start, if you use this on yourself, you can push yourself back a space and then it kicks you back past start. So then the property that you just took behind start actually gets boosted and multiplied. Um, I found this out from trying to get better at the game and watching professionals play in Korea and realizing that this is one of the top things that they do when they put this in their starting hand, and it's worked out beautifully. Um, and then another one I have is Smack. Smack is for one turn. You roll the die. If it's 8 or higher, you obtain an empty property. Beautiful. A lot of times I hit a double on this, and if you do, you get to go again. And if you go again and hit above an 8, you get to steal another property, and it keeps going. The game makes it so if you hit 3 doubles in a row, you go to jail. So you could get 3 empty properties out of it, but on the third one, you will go to jail if it's a third double. Um, Supplementary cards are cards that come up once you're already playing the game. So as you're playing, these cards will tend to come up here and there, and it's completely random. So you just want generally decent cards that could be useful late game. So like steal property, if you land on a property, you take it. Um, Pull, if somebody's within 6 blocks ahead of you and you're on your own property, you can drag them to it, and then they have to pay the tax. um, Wild Compass, for 2 turns, somebody rolls a die, it only equals a 1. So they either move one forward or one back. So if your properties are on either side of them, they're going to land on one and then they have to pay the tax. Um, Excellent choice is move a opponent to a random property that you own if you hit an 8 or higher. That's a game ender if it works. Um, Destroy a random opponent's city with a multiplier, things like that. Um, Selected opponent will step on a property at 70% chance on the next dice roll. Uh, I mean, some of the cards are self-explanatory, and I also have multiple sets based on which map that I'm on. Sometimes you have to have it set up that way because some maps, like with, where is it? Um, Discard, Map of Fortune, um, it immediately moves you to Fortune Road. Some maps don't have a Fortune Road, so if that is in your opening hand, you're not doing yourself any favors, and it's basically a dead card. So it does take a little bit of skill when you're setting things up. Finally, this is, in my opinion, the worst thing that they added to this game. But it's also the best because if you have good ones, then it pans out. Goods are random items that trigger during the game. You have no control over them, as far as I know. There might be new ones that you do, but these trigger whenever it says that they will. And if you have very good ones, it can do things like if you land on a property that would make you lose the game, instead pay 0 tax. It can do things like just absolutely absurd. Like if you land on a property, it just automatically takes it instead of you having to pay for it. Things like that. Um, I only have one star six good, and it's this one. When an opponent goes bankrupt, I get a ghost city. So when an opponent goes bankrupt, all their cities that they owned, they turn into ghost cities, so anybody can obtain them. At 60% chance, this will give me one. Um, If I'm not buffed when I roll a dice roll, there are some buffs that make it so you will roll a double. If I roll a double without it, I get 60% of joy from my bank account at 40% chance, which helps me in game. They're just kind of like static abilities, essentially. But I'm going to take you through a game, and I'm going to show you exactly like what makes this so frustrating, but also exciting. But it's very much a fun game, but also a difficult one at the same time. The other thing I like about this game is it opens the ability for team play, and it also makes it so that the estimated time limit is always written there, and I've never had it go further than a few seconds over the estimated time. The games usually roll through pretty quick. Um, Finding teammates is not difficult. People are always online. There's a lot of people from Japan, from Korea, from the US, from everywhere. They're just kind of all scattered. So I would say initially, if you get into this game, start playing basic levels. Um, Use the basic stuff they give you. Don't worry about the currencies. Don't worry about things like that. Eventually, it will all pan out, and you'll start to figure the game out slowly as it goes. As you see, a minute 3 seconds. I mean, it's not very long. Um, so each map rotates in this game, which is very cool. They have a bunch of different maps that you can constantly play and do different things. Um, but that's also something I love about this game. I love that it's just constantly being updated. I love that it's in HD. I finally was able to get it on my laptop, which is making it so I can play it like this. Um, there is an application kind of emulator called Bluestacks, which is what I'm using. Seamless. I love it. So everybody gets a buff that gives them starting money right here. And then here's your bank account. You roll the dice. If depending on which dice you have, they have multipliers that determine your chance of hitting the number that you're trying to hit when you roll them. Um, it is something that is very much it's very randomized. But if you pay to win and you get better dice and you pay all this money to get the fragments, to create them, to do all this stuff, the dice get better, and then every roll that you make gets better. Um, this is my opening hand of 3 cards, and then this right here is a special Joker card, which they recently added to the game. It's something that you always have on you that you can use. So this is why this card is amazing. So I choose it, I choose myself, I knock myself back past start, obtain the property, multiply it by 4, and then I'm going to try to aim 5 to 7 so I can try to hit this altar. Didn't get the altar, but if you see, now this property is a tier 3 at level 4. So if somebody lands here at level 3, you can see it's 1,399,000,000. It wouldn't bankrupt anybody currently, but if I upgrade it enough and the multiplier goes up, I will eventually be able to get these people. This guy just took my property over. You have this thing right here on the bottom right, this number thing. This is how many times you can steal properties. If you land on a property that you can't afford, you have to either take out a loan or quit the game. It does not allow you to steal that property, even if you decide to stay in the game. So now I'm going to go with the smack because there's ghost properties available. So I need to hit over an 8. I did not. But also landed on a 3-star property. Take it. As you can see, when you multiply your buildings and put money into the match that you're playing, it comes out of your bank account, not out of the money that you have on hand. The money on hand, the only purpose of it is if you run out of money on hand, you either have to quit the game and you concede, or you have to take out a loan from your bank account, and so it'll be like $1 billion or something, and it just allows you to keep playing the game. But when you land on a property and it takes the money out of you, it comes out of your bank account. So that's how you could potentially go completely bankrupt if you land on too big of a property. So I'm going to try and 50% chance steal this tier 3 property. Didn't get it. So now we're just going to go for as far as we can make it. Got a 3-star property anyway. Multiply it by 4. So he's going to attempt to steal a property. So if he were to land on my property with this little hammer, he would instantly take that property and he would gain control of it. He's going to summon a random opponent to a property. They chose me. I don't get a chance to take it, even though I can afford it. It just takes the money right out of my bank account, trying to bankrupt me. Well, I guess out of the money that I have. He just got bankrupted and then left the game, so he is now out of the game. So all of his properties, like this tier 4 right here, um, it goes ghost. So now I have a chance to take it over if I can. I love the animations in this game. They're so good. So this is the random skill card that I got. I can only use it if there's less than 17 turns left. If you look at the top right here, there's 19 turns left, so I can't use it yet. So I'm just going to try to go for the ox. If we land on the ox and it levels up, it adds this percentage on tolls that you and your teammate own. So right now, this guy is on my team. He's a 2 trillion in his bank account. So he probably plays frequently, but not a lot. I definitely have the most in this match. Landed on my property, had to pay 75 billion. He did take a loan, so he has 1 billion left that came from his reserves. I hit the ox. The ox goes up to level 2, which now all of our properties are boosted times 2. Times 3 now. So if he lands on this property, it's times 1092. It'd be $381 billion. That's how much would be coming out of his 1 trillion that he has in the bank. Oh, there you go. 78 billion. Up top right here, it says max joy is 800 billion. That's the maximum amount that we will be able to win. And because we're on a team, we split it. So if we get 800 billion, I would get 400 and my teammate would get 400. That's if we hit that number. You get XP right here. And then LP is your ranking system. So I went up 1,000. So if you go down here into ranking, I'm in the 28.71%. I'm at 37,000 LP. Some people are in the millions. I mean, it's just insane. But that puts me in Platinum League based on where I'm ranked. But yeah, I really like this game. I would love more people to get into it. I think that the team play is fun. You can invite people from different platforms. I've played with people on Android and I've played with people on iPhone. This Bluestacks system also makes it so easy to play on your computer if you want to. I always am streaming this game in Discord and people are watching me play, and it's really a great game. A lot of people are put off by all the anime stuff, but when it comes down to it, it's a really good strategy game, and some of it has to do with luck, which is unfortunate. And the money part of it is just what absolutely grinds this game into the ground. I just wish that it was easier to just get better characters, to upgrade your goods, to upgrade like skill cards, to not have to spend an arm and a leg and like a lung on this game, because that's what it feels like. There's no option to just be able to get better. Like this is 3,500 topaz. I have 250, if that puts anything in perspective, right? If I wanted this good, that is a very good one. I would have to come here and I would have to Like this is 500 for $50. Like this is 300 for $30. 1,000 for $100. 3,500. This would take me $350 to buy this Desert Trojan horse. Oh my god. Like it just doesn't compute in my brain how this game makes money, how this game can find this like profitable. I want to know who the people are that are spending this money on this game because it's insanity. It's like it's like I have put some money into this game, but that's because I just love the game so much and I just need my guy to be competitive enough so that I enjoy playing. I used to play and not know what I was doing, and I used to play with characters that were bad and dice that would never roll even close to what I wanted to roll because their percentages were down. So like the dice that I have currently, pull them up. So right now dice control is 38%. So the chance of me rolling the number that I want on the dice that I roll is 38%. That's that's 38%, right? These are 6-star dice. If I were to use these dice, my dice control is 36%, so it goes down by 2%. If you get 3-star dice like these, 32%, it's like it really just depends. I mean, it just feels like once you have 6-star dice like this and you get all the bonuses, there's no point in using any other dice. It doesn't matter if you like them or not, if you want them or not. I'm getting 4 benefits out of these dice that the game handed to me, whereas here I would only get 3 benefits. And it's just kind of like they just want you to spend so much money in this game, and I hate it. I hate it. Um, but I really hope that more people get into this game. I looked on YouTube today. I wanted to see if anybody had said anything about this game, if anybody had reviewed it. And it just seems like all the reviews are people opening the game for the first time, trying it out, saying how good it is. I just want to go in depth on if you are getting into this game, this is what to expect. These are the cons, these are the benefits. This game is super fun and I love playing it. I love playing it with people that I'm friends with. We get on a team together. We kind of like there's certain mini games in the game where you have to like flip a coin and you have to pick what you think it is. If you're with a friend and you're on a team, you can both pick, one of you picks heads, one of you picks tails, so that way you don't really lose because you're gonna gain money and lose money, if that makes any sense. Um, there's a lot of strategy to it, and I think it's just such a fun game. But god damn, do they want your money, and do they want a lot of it? It's just so annoying. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll do some playthroughs, some streams or something, and you guys can just see more of the gameplay and how I try to go about beating different people and skill cards and what I do. But if you like this video, let me know. I'm more than willing to play more of it. I've been taking a break from Magic recently, so I'm kind of interested to see if this is gonna really start to pick up or not. It's a really great game, and I think the quality and the art style and it's just in HD and it plays out super clean. I think that a lot of people would enjoy it. I just think the prices need to come down. But that's all, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Catch you later.